previous video, I built a macro which is auto-generating one of our query. If you want to know how to do that, please check out the link in the description below. In this tutorial, I'm going to show you how you can customize your ribbon with assigning this macro to your button. First thing first, we need to purchase a free software from the internet. If you go to Google and you just simply enter custom UI editor download, it will bring up a couple of options. You need to find a reliable source. My favorite one is the bettersolutions.com. You click on the link and you will find the actual file you need to download and install on your device. As a first step, we need to open up the custom UI editor. Then I click on File, Open, and I'm going to find the actual file I want to customize. I navigate to the folder. I'm going to change the extension because I'm using a binary file this time, and that's not the default in the UI editor, and I simply hit Open. Once I added my file to my project, I can start assigning a new XML structure to my Excel file. You don't have to worry about your XML knowledge because there are some built-in sample files in the UI editor what you can use easily and help you to learn very quickly how you can customize the ribbon. This time I'm going to choose this custom tab, which will automatically create the structure for my new ribbon. If I want to change the displayed name of my tab, my new tab on the ribbon, I can simply go to the label tag and I change the name between the double quotes. I'm going to say Office Universe. Then I can go to the next level, which is going to be the grouping. The group means that each button can be grouped or separated on your ribbon. But for sure, this time I'm going to have only just 2 buttons under my group. And as the next step, I'm going to change the name of my group again. Let's say Office Universe Macro. And under the group, I can see the XML code for my new button. I'm going to create 2, so the only thing I need to do is just simply select the existing one, enter into the new line. I'll move this code a little bit under the next one. Here we go. I have 2 buttons added to my new tab. The only thing you need to focus on is the ID of the button because you can't have duplicates. So it's called button. Let's say this is the button 1. I'm going to change the labels, simply saying Office Universe Query. Let's say I want to create a link, a web link, say YouTube. Once that's done, I can assign images to my button. I can use the default images from the Microsoft Windows, or I can add custom images, what I previously prepared for this demo. If you use custom images, then you need to change the code, the XML code, saying simply image instead of image MSO. The image MSO means that you're going to use the Microsoft Live. If you want to use custom images, you have to go back to the tab, simply select the image icon, insert icon, and navigate to the folder where you have your icons or images saved. To select this one, change the name of this icon because it's pretty long. Right click on the item, hit change ID and saying YouTube. Then I can assign this name to my button with changing the name of the image. Now I'm going to add another image, remove the name again, and assign to the button my Office Universe. If I want to make sure that my XML code is correct, on the tab you will see this validate icon. Just simply hit. If it says custom UI XML is well formed, then you are good to go. You just simply hit OK. You save your XML structure, and as a next step, I'm going to add a bit more customization to my ribbon, to my new tab. I go to the tab code line in my XML structure, and I'm going to use a new code. It's called the insert after MSO equals tab home close double quotes. And this XML code will be basically define the place of my new tab on the ribbon where it is going to be displayed. And this basically says my new tab is going to be displayed after the home tab. The last thing you need to do and make sure it's correct, the callback name. The callback is basically the procedure which will run the macros when you hit those custom buttons. You can't have duplicated names, so I'm going to say callback 1 and callback 2. Even if you don't know how to create those Visual Basic codes, you don't have to worry because if you go back UI Editor tab, you can see this list icon says generate callbacks. You click there and it will create the subroutines for your code. You simply select the code, right click, copy, you open up a new notepad, paste the code there, which we can copy back to our Excel file. Once that's done, you can go back to the UI editor, you save your code, and you close the UI editor. Okay, once you saved your new structure, you can see on the ribbon I have created my new custom tab on my ribbon with the custom images and the button. Right now, if I click on the button, nothing happens because we haven't assigned our macro to those callback procedures. So let's do that. I go to the developer tab, I hit Visual Basic, or you just simply hit Alt F11. I have my Visual Basic code built to generate our query, and this one has to be assigned to that button. I go back to my notepad, I'm going to copy the callback procedures from the UI editor, then I go back to the Visual Basic editor, and I simply insert these procedures after my code. Once I pasted my Visual Basic code from the UI editor, I just need to define what these procedures should do. The first button should run my query, so I'm going to say call, and I have to add the name of the macro I want to run by this button, and that's the my query automation. The first button is done. The second one will navigate us to a web link, and the code looks like this: active workbook.follow hyperlink. Now we need to define the address of the hyperlink, =, and between double quotes we need to paste the hyperlink. It looks good. I'm going to save my Visual Basic code and close the Visual Basic editor. I go back to the graphical interface. I still have my custom tab. Let's test it. But before I would do that, I'm going to remove the existing table and the query to make sure we don't have any conflict. I'm going to click my button and it opens up my folder browser. I select the folder where I have the data for my query. I hit OK, and here we go. My query has been created by this custom button under my custom tab. If I click on the second button, it will navigate me to the web link. If you like my video and the content, please consider to subscribe to my channel.